All right, everybody, welcome to Digitized Desperadoes, episode 20, part 2. We're doing Now and Then, Here and There.
This
Okie
is
doke.
this is
I enjoyed this, but I didn't enjoy it all the way. I didn't thoroughly enjoy this, and I definitely have some issues with it.
It's
being said, let's get on with
definitely
it.
not the best thing I've ever seen.
I'm gonna call this Juosei again.
Ooh.
I could see that comparison.
I unironically loved watching this, but man, it's not good.
It has moments, and it also
has its moments.
very bad
Okay.
moments.
Okay, compared to Juosei, when this show is good, it's oh my god good. But this show's bad a lot of the time.
Yes.
For me, it was like it starts slow, but eventually it starts to pick up.
I
in
thought the
later
start was
half.
great.
I think it's
Really,
it's
I thought like
good.
the first 5, it was like kind of slow, and then like 6 onwards, it starts getting going.
I watched the first 5 episodes in one row, and I really liked the first episode a lot. I think the entire first episode was fun.
Episode. Which one do you meet Hamdo in?
I don't.
When does Hamdo show up?
Because when they introduce Hamdo, okay, it's the second episode.
Yeah, that one.
I love the introduction of Hamdo. It is the funniest scene I have ever seen.
Yeah. I think
It shouldn't be funny.
Yeah, he does something awful. Is that where he kills?
He throws a cat and then kicks it, and it's
yeah, that's what the note "you killed a cat, sick bastard" meant. Okay.
it's so extra.
And he's just like, he's very obviously like straight up just crazy, paranoid, lunatic Hitler guy.
It's really
Okay,
funny with me with King Hamdo, because when he first appeared, I'm like, oh fuck this guy's stupid character. I think the further the show went on, the more I liked King Hamdo's like Mad King archetype character.
Okay, I love him because he is the most entertaining character, and his voice actor brings it.
Did you watch it subbed or dubbed?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you. Did you watch?
I watched it dubbed. I watched this dub. The voice actor's pretty good in the dub. Also, it was not a very good dub, but it picks up over time. I feel like the voice actors like learn how to voice act at some point in the show. I don't know when.
I have some my only production notes for this, because this was an original anime idea. I don't recognize a lot of the staff, so not much important. But the voice actors have a lot of notable people.
Yeah.
Tabul is voiced by Crispin Freeman.
Yeah.
Who also voices Sundowner.
That's where it was from. Ever just like watch a show and you're like, that voice is really familiar?
Okay, to be fair, Crispin Freeman voice acts a lot of stuff, but the only one I recognized was Sundowner from Metal Gear Rising.
The good old days.
Nope, don't.
Which let me tell you, this show has a lot of unintentional Metal Gear references. Child soldiers.
Yeah, there's child soldiers. There's Warbad. It's very proto Metal Gear. The architecture in general.
Proto? This was after Solid, so.
Wait, really?
This was 99.
Oh wow, never mind.
Yeah, 99 going into 2000.
It looks a lot older than that.
It looks like an 80, or like a very early 90s anime.
It looks 80s.
No, this is
honestly.
late 90s into early 2000s.
It looks 80s to me, and it's not.
No, I'd say it looks 90s. Enough to me. I don't know.
Okay, anyways, more of the sub voice actors, actually. Shu, our protagonist, is voiced by a woman who is Nami from One Piece. One of the main characters.
Okay.
And Sis is Ash Ketchum.
They did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Me not recognizing that they were.
Well, no, this is the sub.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Not a dub.
Okay.
I didn't recognize any of the other dub voice actors, but that's the sub.
Yeah.
All right. Where to even start with the show?
I guess the general plot idea is this boy gets isekai'd into this awful
What if you got
place.
isekai'd to the worst place ever?
I'd say this is very comparable to the video game Out of This World, also known as Another World.
We were just
oh my
talking
god, we were
about
just
this.
mentioning that earlier.
I love this game. It's one of my favorite Super Nintendo games. It's about the scientist who finds himself in this alien planet and gets captured and stuff, and it's very atmospheric, and that's part of the reason why I think I enjoyed this a lot. I wouldn't say it's very great, but I enjoyed it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yes, this is very reminiscent of Out of This World, which now that I know that this came out in '99, it feels really weird because this means Out of This World came before it. I feel like this feels like the kind of show that inspired other things, but it was inspired by those things.
Yeah, this is not something that inspired anything, honestly. I didn't know the show existed.
Well, another thing is like the entire first episode where the boy is running around with the girl and he's holding the stick. I just couldn't stop thinking of the game Ico.
Yeah, I was going to say
it feels
Ico.
like a sci-fi version of Ico. A lot.
Okay, but also, not to be even more like the first episode of this is basically Hayao Miyazaki's Castle in the Sky.
Well,
also, this is where you bring in the Castle in the Sky. I was expecting you to mention that last bit. Part.
It's just so obvious. Okay, there is a mysterious girl who is conveniently looks the same age. You assume she's the same age as Shu in the first episode. She has a magic pendant.
The world activates and time is frozen.
Okay, but she has a magic pendant that everyone wants, and an evil villain kidnaps her trying to get, and they go to a different world that is actually, it's a floating castle.
Yeah.
So it's literally just another. Yeah. Okay, you guys haven't seen Castle in the Sky, but it's about this girl.
That makes a lot of sense, though.
But it's about this girl who has a magic pendant that an evil king guy wants. So he tries to kidnap the girl, and the kid about her age tries to save her. So it's the same.
So this is 90s Castle in the Sky.
But then this tries to push a lot of politics, whereas Castle in the Sky is just happy adventure.
This pushes a lot of politics. Some areas I think it succeeds. Some areas it's like shut up.
I'd say in terms of politics, it absolutely fails in every part.
I think there was it was going on about something when they focus way too much on the child soldier shit. Like
child soldier.
Like shut up 100%. Movie or shut up show. Like you're doing it too much. Metal Gear does it better later on. But I really like the part where it's talking about compliance. The character, I forget what's his name, one of the child soldiers. I think so. He's
the almost good child soldier.
He's like, we got to do all these horrible things, but it'll be fine. We get to go home afterwards. Like that's how we get back home. I really like that aspect of it, of just showing why people would do terrible things in a war scenario. I feel like that was an aspect that.
Because initially I was like, I don't really care for him. But then
they don't focus on it.
Hey, I don't want to be doing this, and I was like, okay, that's a good added bit of characters.
I think they don't focus on it enough, and they don't put it through its fullest potential, and they focused on the other aspects of war bad a little too much.
No, I gotta say that's probably the only. Okay, yeah, you proved it. That's probably the only believable part of this. I think it's the only part that I think is comparable to real life. But also, if we're just going to go right into it, because I have a lot to say about this thematically and politically, the one thing that I could not get into, I could not believe anything once I hit about the halfway point of the show, when they really show like the adult soldiers, which we don't get much of. We see Hamdo, we see Abelia, who's his second in command. It's Abelia.
That's not how they pronounce it in the dub. Hamdo, like, every time he says her name, he goes, Abelia. It's hilarious.
Ew.
But anyway, really poorly delivered, and I love it. It grew on me.
The part that just completely took me out of the show, that just made it all crumble, is that there is never any reason given for why anyone would at any point follow Hamdo at all.
That is another. Yeah, I
it's established that like Hollywood is powerful, but it's like it doesn't fucking work anymore.
Yeah, I always assumed like, oh, it's all fear,
bullshit.
Like it's all fear. Like he's built an empire, and the only reason people follow him anymore is because he could just tell somebody else to, kill the person that tries to revolt. But then like after a while, it's like, well, how did he at least get into this position? And
the question
do not explain it.
The question is, okay, if you look at, I'm just going to go straight for it. If you look at Hitler's rise to power, he was
definitely a mad king, and that's definitely
he was celebrated. He was a hero to the people.
He knew, like, the reason he got so popular and the reason he got so fucked up is because he knew exactly what people wanted to hear, and he told them everything they wanted to hear, and he kept saying more, reacting based on everything. It wasn't until the end of his life where he became a paranoid freak. I mean, he was already a freak, but he wasn't so paranoid until the very end.
The thing is,
over the course of the show, Hamdo gets more and more paranoid.
I think he's just paranoid.
Okay, not really.
Yeah, he kind of starts there, but it definitely increases over the course of the show.
I'm not saying he's a bad character. I'm saying there's no reason given to me that this world would make sense.
I think I like Hamdo as a character, but I don't think that any reason there doesn't seem to be any reason that people follow him. There's no really explanation of how he got into the state of power that he got, which I really think he could have used.
I think you almost don't need it, because the whole thing is we're from the perspective of Shu, who isn't even from this world. He's just sort of dropped into the middle of this.
Yeah, but there's no hint as to like after a certain point you're like, is there any reason this guy's in charge?
Well, my question is more, why hasn't someone tried to take his position from inside?
Yeah.
Because again,
I feel like Abelia really
Hollywood doesn't work, and that seems to be like his main claim of power, is he has this big-ass battleship, but the thing doesn't fucking work, so it's
also, okay, there's a lot of questions I have about that, too. Why does he happen to have a crew of loyal people who know exactly how it works?
Yeah, and okay, big plot hole I also realized, towards the end, they have this transporter. This is how the kid gets isekai.
Okay,
he has a transporter that can go to Earth, and yet there's a shortage of water.
Why don't they just take water from Earth?
Exactly. That was the biggest plot hole. I'm very glad I didn't realize this until the end.
Buckets.
But I'm just like, this could just live somewhere else.
They don't explain the transporter until the very end.
I feel like they just needed the transporter to get the kid there, and that was it. I feel like
to get him there and send him back home.
And also with all their technology, they have trouble finding shit all the time. Not just the pendant, but people and locations and things. It's you have this giant flying base. You have interdimensional transporters, but you don't have a
you have
GPS,
mechs,
cameras, or anything.
Okay, let me just say this is kind of I want to say almost a Gynax situation, where in the first episode you get these beautiful mech designs. They move around.
I love the snake mechs. They're so cool.
They look so good, but then you never see them again.
Yeah, and instead they just use these weird generic two-legged walkie guys.
Yep.
And they don't use the cool snakes anymore. They do use the cool snakes, but you barely see them anymore.
They don't move. In every scene,
those things are sick.
In every scene, they're just still frames after that.
There's one scene later where I think Abelia's driving one, and that's the only other time you get to see him again. That in a way that they're moving.
They clearly wasted
that first fight of Shu versus the snake mechs at the smokestacks is awesome.
Yeah.
The first episode is really incredible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the first episode is good, and I just feel like from 2 or 3, 4, and 5, it's sort of just slow and isn't really getting to where it's supposed to be going. And then 6 onwards is when it really picks up.
I disagree. I think the end is terrible, but
The final episode picks up in the action. It kind of leaves you in the plot, though.
It all looks good, but it's written very poorly.
I think it's the first few episodes, good in action. And then it slows way down with the action,
Well, yeah, okay.
There's a point where it's all right, yeah, this is fine.
Final battle.
Then, it got to a point where it got sluggish with, I think episode 11 or 12, where both of them were called like, oh, this is the one right before all the shit goes down. Like it was like one was like the something to chaos, and the other one was like something before a disaster, and it's like
eve of destruction.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, so we're still not at the climax yet.
We're still not at final battle.
You're still just. It just got really sluggish towards that end.
Also,
so
they
basically
have
a little bit of like kind of grinding the tires or whatever the phrase is.
Also, they literally have like a 10-minute segment
spinning the wheels.
They have like a 10-minute segment of just Hollywood powering up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
I know, and then it crashes a little, and then they have to get it back up again.
Of course,
as a fan
you guys
of just
like
seeing
that.
mechanics work, I do like that, but
no, then it does take a while. Yeah. It's like you could just have it take off.
I thought
and then get on with it.
I got on my phone. I was so bored.
I thought it looked cool enough to warrant it, but I also did enjoy the part where Abelia was like getting all pissed off at the other workers. I thought that was fun, but I can see that if you do not like the visuals in that scene, you'd be like, get on with it.
Okay. Also, I need to mention I guess this is kind of a personal issue, but okay, the first 3 episodes I think look pretty good visually, but the source we were using, which we're not saying the name.
This anime.
You know, when I say we're not saying the name, I mean it seriously. But anyway, you can edit that out. You're not going to.
No.
But episode 4 onward was a different release, and it looks noticeably worse.
Yeah, it did look
like
a little bit.
Clearly like a much worse quality release, which makes me depressed because the first couple episodes look great. I don't know if that's just how the show is.
Maybe there's a DVD or something out there.
I feel like maybe I think it had a higher quality DVD release that didn't get finished. Release.
Yeah, I think the original was the official Japanese release, and it looked pretty good. They didn't mess with it or anything.
And also, like, in the original Japanese release, there's, like, some name differences in the OP, like, Shu is Siu.
Well, that's just how they pronounce it. They pronounce that Shu.
Okay. Because then, once it switches over to the English version, it becomes Shu.
I think that's just how they pronounce it.
That's just some pronunciation shenanigans, okay. But yeah, it does look like there's a change, for sure.
But yeah, onwards, I remember there were a couple episodes near the end. I just wrote notes. The video quality looks worse somehow.
I don't think that was I don't think the version I was watching.
I feel for you it wouldn't be a problem because you're watching dub, so presumably you just watched the American version the whole way through.
Yeah.
Right.
So there was no change.
Yeah, but
it was in 720p, but I don't think it actually was. I think it was closer to 480p.
I recommend you go and look at the first episode of the sub because it looks better.
Okay.
It just looks better.
And we haven't even gotten into like Lalaru or Sarah yet.
We don't need to talk about Lalaru.
She is just kind of a plot device. It kind of unfortunately.
As I was watching, Sarah. I was thinking, is this like how Rei is, but even less character?
Rei's different.
No,
because like for a good chunk of like the first half or so, Lalaru has no character.
I'll give you a solid.
She doesn't start like getting character until she escapes with Shu and they actually start talking.
I'll give you a solid because Evangelion, the characters matter more.
Yeah, the point of this is to push a political message. Yeah. So
it felt like Lalaru was like the Yorda from Aiko, but even less character.
I don't know, maybe I'm just saying that because blue hair character that doesn't talk.
There's literally a section where they're talking about the sunset, and Lalaru just goes, I like the sunset because it reminds me of all sorts of things. And then that's it.
No further elaboration.
Never elaborates.
Yeah,
doesn't give an example of all sorts of things. It's just like, okay.
Can we talk about how this show is misogynist?
It is.
It's insanely misogynist.
Like I think the only positive female character is Sis.
It's just Sis.
Yeah.
It's almost Sarah, but no.
It was almost Abelia if she like revolted or something like that, but she never chose to do that.
Abelia is such wasted potential.
Yes. I thought she was going to be a great
And
character.
she just
and I was very
stays evil the whole time, and at the end she's like, okay, time to pay for my crimes, and they just kind of forgive her for no reason.
I thought she was like going to overthrow King Hamdo at the last second, but she just kind of just leaves him to die. And
no, she intentionally locks him in and kills him.
Yeah,
that was
like I felt like she should have overthrown him earlier on, not like last minute.
Okay, the only characterization Abelia is given is one line, like episode 3.
Yeah.
She says, like, to herself, I hate it when I see Hamdo with Lalaru. Makes me so jealous. And it's like,
forgot about that.
She's defined by a male character, which is literally the most misogynist thing you can do.
They do it a little better in the dub, but I not that much. You can't save it that much.
But do you want to talk about Sarah?
Sarah is very interesting.
There are many problems. We can get real political here.
We can take a very deep dive with this.
I don't want to get fully political here, but yes, there is some questions.
Okay, we don't have to give our opinions, but we can explain the opinions of the show. So basically, Sarah is their attempt at doing like a strong woman in wartime. She is a prisoner. She's captured wrongfully. She's raped. Like not
multiple
even
times.
Like implied. It's just straight up like they show her. But she beats off her attacker. Okay. She murders her attacker.
Kills the attacker. She
murders the soldier and escapes, which is such a good scene. It's an amazing scene.
Yeah, good on you. Kill that dude.
She runs into the desert and like cuts her hair and takes off her clothes and just runs off. And I'm like, yeah, go Sarah.
No, and the scene of her with like her hair blowing in the wind was really good.
Yeah,
that looked real nice, like episode 1 nice.
I think the early plot of Sarah is the best thing in this anime, but they ruin it.
Yeah. And then you get to Sis, and she finds out.
The main characters eventually escape Hollywood, which is an awful name.
Awful.
And they go to a city named Zanzibar. I mean Zaribars. And they find Sarah. She's fine. Which you see a scene of her literally buried, her whole body,
and like only her hand sticking out.
And she's fine.
Is she recovered by Sis? Like, I don't.
Yeah, Sis recovers her.
Okay. Because they never really show Sis like ever leaving again. Like she just is always there from then on.
They show a vague character with like a cloak and goggles.
Character in a cloak, and it's later to reveal that that was Sis.
Yeah.
Anyway, she comes back and she's a very strong character. She pushes the plot. She is understandably angry at Lalaru.
Yes.
But then they try to reveal that she was being used. She was being used as a breeding slave by Hondo's soldiers, and she is.
That was hinted at earlier that they were doing that, but
yeah. They talk about their other prisoners and how that was the only reason they were keeping the women. Which, yes, that's what happens in war. I don't know if they would keep them as slaves.
At least in like old school medieval war and shit like that.
Right, yeah. They would just take them. So anyway, that part's believable. You know, it's terrible, it's depressing, but it's real.
Yeah.
And then they try to push a pro-life argument.
It's out of nowhere, and it's like...
Because like there's a part where like at least in the subs, Sis says, "Hey, that's her choice to make," but then it just turns into Shu saying, "No, don't."
Okay, the dub is, I think they tried to change that scene. I think they were trying to make it look like she was only trying to kill herself in general.
That would be so much better.
I think they did that in the dub because when she's like using the rock, he's like saying, "Don't kill yourself." Like she was.
No, he says that in the subs too.
He says you have to live or something.
Yeah.
But then it does later turn into hard. No, don't blame it on the baby.
But it's very obvious that she's trying to kill the baby and not herself in politics.
Well, let me just say that the scene where she tries to drown herself and then takes the rock, that's such a good scene. It's so powerful. It made me emotional. Like Shu putting his hand over her stomach, like, oh my god.
And then like allowing her to just like pretty much break his hand.
I was just like sitting there, like staring at the screen, like you know,
it really
like
shows
the
that,
Devil Man again, you know?
Like,
yeah,
there was competency in the writing room. Like that was, it was this scene that stands out a lot. The scene where she kills her attacker, the guy in the other thing. And also, I want to shout out. I don't know about you, but I liked the scene where King Hamdo kills his attacker. Like the guy.
That part's amazing.
Yeah. The part where King Hamdo. It's the part where he's gotten, like, assassins have come into his base and they're trying to assassinate him, and he pulls out a gun and he shoots them, and he keeps shooting him because he's fucking terrified, and then from then on he's paranoid throughout the rest of the show. I think that was a very well done scene. I'd
have to say that
all 3 moments of the show.
If you take Hamdo out of the context of the show, if you just played his scenes for me, they're fantastic.
Yes.
He's one of the best characters in the entire show. But in the context, his character doesn't fit.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. He's never explained. He has no backstory. They say he's on a crusade at multiple times.
Like they keep saying it's a holy war or something, but it's like, what are they fighting for?
It's a holy war, and he has no religion.
Yeah, literally no soldier supports him except Abelia, and even Abelia, it's just like, oh, I love him.
There's like the one kid that like is like realized that his house is like, or his village is completely destroyed, so he wants to stay. But like even then, it's like he should want revenge.
Yeah, no, and Taboo's whole thing is just, I want to take over Hollywood someday.
Yeah. That's what I
like
thought
he's just in it because he wants to be the boss next.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about like Nabucco and Boo.
Yeah,
I like they have a little good subplot, but it gets a little too child soldiery.
It stays too long on the same point. You get this feeling that Nabucco wants to rebel, but he doesn't.
Yeah, he just keeps not 12. Doing it.
I do like the point where Boo does rebel, and then Nabucco is like, "No, you have to stay."
Oh my god!
I do like that.
I just remembered the other fantastic scene that I don't know if you disagree, but when Hamdo's soldiers are attacking Zaribars and Nabucco finds the kids and Shu.
Oh yeah,
and they have the shootout.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that scene hurt.
That scene was so good.
I was just like, oh my god, Boo and Soon are dead. What the fuck?
Yeah, Soon showing up with the rifle. Oh my god.
And he fucking kills. Oh my god. Yeah.
It's such.
It's like this show has moments, but in between those moments,
it has its moments.
There's just like
there's good stuff in here, but it's just kind of buried.
I just can't find
between
out
some other not great stuff.
I can't find out where it went wrong, but I know it is wrong.
I think it went wrong. I think it went wrong how political it tried to.
I think it's trying to bite off more than it can chew.
I think if you took out if you take out the title, basically is what I'm saying. If you take out the present aspect at the end where they're like, Shu, you have to stop this from happening in your world, which they don't say that, but it's implied.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't work. You don't know why.
I think there's too many moments where
even at the
the show is like doing telling more than showing. The moments where it shows more than tells, where it shows the fucking, the girl killing her attacker, it shows the angry king murdering his assassins, it shows, the Boo trying to revolt, like, stuff like that. It's showing all this stuff, like, showing where war is bad, showing what it does to people. It really does show when it shows, but when it's like, man, child soldiers, it's awful, man, can't you believe that they're doing this? It's like, why are you telling us this?
I mean, then you get to Zaribars where they do this really obvious war bad plot.
Yeah.
And you know what the argument they have against war is?
I don't remember what they say.
It's good.
Yeah.
They literally... Okay, let's look at the characters who are in the moral right throughout the entire story.
Shu?
Sis. Who only uses a stick and does not kill anyone intentionally. And then Sis, who literally tells everyone, no fighting ever.
Yeah.
The only other characters in the show are people who are corrupted by people like Nabucco, who's like, killing is necessary. People like Tabul, who are like, I want to be leader. People who are like
the assassins that were like, oh, we need to go and get revenge.
What?
All for revenge.
What even was the guy's name?
I don't think he had a name.
That douche, the asshole who I was glad when he got shot down.
Alamba. Alamba is like, we have to. Okay, they do this really obvious thing where in the beginning you're like, oh, Alamba seems fine. He's just trying to help his village. But then further on you see like, oh, he's just another Hamdo.
He's just a piece of shit.
He's just another Hamdo.
He's just the other side's version of
down,
him.
And you're like, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad he died.
It's and then they try to really push this whole especially in Zari bars with Sis and Shu, they're like, no, don't kill Hamdo. No, he deserves it. He's a war criminal. Flip and kill him.
No, kill him.
You could at the very least arrest him and never let him see the light of day, but like that's pretty much the only other option that you could do with him.
Also, Abelia, who like actually facilitated all of the abuse.
Yeah, I know. I really don't like how Abelia's just absolved of all her sins at the end. It's
okay,
like,
but
she was literally the number 2 of this evil dictatorship, and you just sort of let her.
She was the one doing all the work in the dictatorship.
You know what I was really hoping was gonna happen?
What?
They were gonna have Shu or Lalaru kill Hamdo, and then Abelia would take over and actually do things.
Yeah.
Because Abelia was the one controlling everything.
What I hoped is that like Abelia would like just stage or like a revolt and like win over some of the military, because she actually deserved the support of the military. Like to a more better extent.
I think that would make her too sympathetic.
I guess, yeah.
Though I guess the show was kind of going for that since they forgive
her at the end.
They're like, oh, she was just following orders. No, she literally facilitated the entire thing.
Like, following orders. That's what they said about the people that followed Hitler. Anyways, another thing I didn't quite like was they talk about Lalaru and like she's like, whenever I use my power,
she's a nuke.
Kills me.
She's a nuke.
But like they don't show her getting weaker whenever
until the end when she literally like during the gun spoilers, Nia just fades away.
Yeah, no, yeah. I was just gonna say the guy gets Gurren Lagann. That's
Lalaru is a nuke.
Yeah, she.
Yeah, they literally
They're fighting over girl. They all want girl. Wait, you can just replace the word girl with nuke.
They literally do a nuclear deterrence with Hollywood and Lalaru.
Yeah.
Alamba like holds out Lalaru and is like, haha, we have Lalaru. You can't fight us now. And they do anyway.
Yeah.
Because, you know.
And there are actually points where it's like whenever the sun is setting or something, it does look like a mushroom cloud.
I just realized. Lalaru is a nuke that can think. She's Peace Walker.
No! Somebody just played Metal Gear Solid.
But it's water instead of nuke.
I literally just played Peace Walker. I'm sorry. But seriously, that's a comparison you can make because they treat her
for the Metal Gear Solid movie to come out for me to review it. It's not coming out, but you know.
For us to review it,
we will do this. For us to That'll be a special episode. But yeah, moving on.
This show is so.
Yeah, I never thought of it like that before. Lalaru as nuke.
She is. I mean.
Yeah, never thought of that. You've opened my eyes. It all makes sense now.
It's one of those. It's one of those crack theories like, oh, they were dreaming the whole time. Like, it gets told a lot with Lord of the Rings that the One Ring is a nuke, and it's like, it kind of isn't.
Yeah, but I can see it in this case, where it's like Lalaru is nuke. It's like, yeah, I see it.
It's where it's like, yeah, the whole time it is established, she is the key to ending the war.
Well, this show so obviously tries to tell a political message about war and about, you know, it's probably about denuclearization. It's probably about de-escalation of world conflicts, you know, if you really look at it.
I feel like this show wanted to say a lot, and it wasn't prepared.
Yes.
Especially because it only had 13 episodes.
I felt like it could have been shorter.
It could have been shorter.
Less.
Yeah.
It could have tried to say
right.
less, and I think it would have been
could have been a
better off
movie.
for it.
It could have been a 2-hour movie, and it would have been really good, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, okay, this gets compared to Grave of the Fireflies a lot, and Grave of the Fireflies is a lot better than this. Because Grave of the Fireflies, it tells a more neutral approach to war, basically how the common person suffers from war. Yes. So, like, people with Zaribars, how they would suffer. And it's just that. It does not go into soldiers, it does not go into the leaders, it's just civilian.
Yeah.
Whereas this is war bad.
This is literally, hey, look at the people who are starting war. Look at Alamba. Oh, he's crazy. He just wants to kill people. Oh, look at Hamdo. He's literally mentally deranged. Like,
He's just Hitler.
This show tries to present this idea that war is never done for good reasons or reasons that make sense. And that's such a lie. It's just a blatant ignorance of history.
It feels like it thinks that knows more than it does, but it does make good points occasionally. But like there's too many bad points also.
Where it's like you have especially in the like back half, just choose whole, if you keep on living, good things will happen philosophy, which I feel is the most like shonen-y, kiddie, like naive message
it felt
ever.
Like that message was too naive for this show.
Yeah.
Which I feel might be part of the point, because it's like the whole point is he's just a kid.
Yeah, but like I don't.
But it's like also you think the whole theme would be he grows through this experience, but he really doesn't change.
Okay, but he's supposed to be the hero. You're supposed to agree with him, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no one else in the show that fits that better. I mean, kind of Sis, but she's not there long enough.
Yeah.
She doesn't show up until like the very back half.
This is more of a reminder that there's good people in the world.
Right. You know, you're gonna laugh, but I think the political things in this reminded me a lot of Grenadier.
I could see that. It felt like it thought it was being genuine, but some parts where it wasn't.
Well, it tries to push this message of pacifism, but it doesn't explain why. All it says is, look at the horrors of war. You can do better than this. Just don't fight.
I think where this does set itself apart from Grenadier, though, is there are, I would say at least 5 moments that are showing why it is.
Right.
It's saying a lot more than it does those 5 moments.
But I think the good moments aren't used well. I think they are good moments in a vacuum. They're excellent moments if you just watch them without looking at like how
other
pointless Hondo is.
Talk about.
Right. If you ignore the ridiculous pro-life message that I hate.
It's out of
It's out of nowhere, and they push it really hard.
Yeah, I was like, at one point, like, when it was first introduced, and it was like, Sis was like, oh, it's her choice to make, and I was like, wow, that's pretty progressive for, at least I think, for 90s to early 2000s Japan, and then it's like, oh, wait, no.
I think the part that really threw me off was the doctor, the random doctor in Zaribars, who's just like, she's saying, like, whispering to Sis, she's actually pregnant, like, first of all, don't tell her, second of all, we'll probably have to have her have an abortion because that's the only way she's going to be able to stay healthy because we have a shortage of food or whatever.
And then Shu just fucking shouts it out.
And I was like, oh my god, that's really realistic. But instead of having her go to the doctor and doing like a scientific abortion,
or at least like having the conversation at all.
To her.
Which, okay, some people, it's never stated, but some people have the impression that the world we see is supposed to be future Earth, which I disagree with. I don't think it's future Earth. I
kind of see it, but like it doesn't ever explain
where
how
this
it would even get that far.
Actually, we never talked about the set of words that prefaces every episode.
Yeah, which I still don't get. It's like 10 billion years time, something.
It's like so beautiful. It's so ephemeral, which don't apply at all.
Because 10 billion years time is so fragile, so ephemeral, it arouses such bittersweet and almost heartbreaking fondness, is what it says. Which...
What does that even mean?
After watching the show, I'm like... What are you talking about? What do you mean 10 billion? Is this supposed to take place 10 billion years after we see Shu, or like what?
The only way I can see that being accurate is it's supposed to be Lalaru, because she's the one who goes to Earth.
Yeah.
And she's the one who's sort of immortal.
Actually, I got the impression that the Earth that Shu was in is not present day. It seemed like in the past.
Yeah, because he's like doing fighting classes.
He's doing kendo.
He's doing kendo, which is that's still a thing.
Yeah,
But
there's like smokestacks.
I meant, yeah, but if you look at the outfits and you look at Sarah felt like she was from the 20s.
Yeah.
Her outfit was very almost Victorian.
Yeah.
Either that or she was just from a different time. But she knew what a croquette was. A croquet.
Yeah.
Food. I don't know.
Yeah.
The first episode, I'm looking at my notes again. I love the first episode so much.
It's a fun episode, and like it just keeps moving. I really like the pacing of it, where he just keeps going. He has the stick, he has the girl, and they just keep walking forward, and then he gets captured.
Yeah.
Again, Ico. It feels like if you took the gameplay of Ico and made it into a short bit of animation.
I just read a note of mine. Okay, here's a literal quote from the subtitle. Capture him if he's alive. If he's not, kill him.
What? Wait. Was that supposed to be a say, or is that just a really stupid line?
These were instructions from like Abelia or Hamdo in the second episode.
Oh my god.
That's
capture
bad.
him. Okay, if he's alive, capture him. If he's dead, kill him.
Yeah, just shoot the corpse a couple times. Got to be sure.
I love that. It's really bad.
I do want to give credit where it's due, because I am the architecture design background guy. I do love the visuals of the show.
They're all right.
I thought
when they're in Hollywood, it's amazing. Yes. But anywhere else,
yeah.
We didn't even talk about like the plant monster or whatever.
The plant monster fight was fun, but it was kind of stupid. I thought it was more closer to a
It's
Zelda
a nasty
boss.
looking creature when he blows up the ground and its full body is revealed.
It looks exactly like one of the boss fights from Zelda. Like any plant dungeon boss fight, you use bombs to kill it. He used bombs to kill it. It's like,
I mean, also just the concept of a very hostile environment.
Yeah,
it's a whole hostile planet. It's just Juos.
I did want to.
Juos, but in the past.
Yeah. Back on the actual design, I did have a little comment on the actual architecture and how I thought it played well into the mood of the atmosphere of the show, because I thought the Hollywood itself has this big Star Wars-esque atmosphere of these big empty rooms, these big corridors. I'm pretty sure in the first episode, one of the first things that happens is he falls into this weird tube slide, literally straight out of Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah,
I literally wrote he falls into a Star Wars chute.
Yeah,
and then he's left hanging outside, and it's like the end of episode 5.
There is these big open rooms, especially when they're being chased. They're being chased through these big empty rooms with these big catwalks, and it just this oppressive environment. I felt really captured the feeling and the mood of those early episodes. And then there's later on where he's escaped and he's running around the hallways, these empty hallways, and they're really dark, dimly lit. I thought that also was very. It made this character feel more vulnerable than something like a big open area. I don't know. I really liked how the atmosphere played into the plot for those sections in Hollywood, and I felt as time went on, it kind of stopped doing it.
I'm willing to say that this show had every potential and right to be amazing.
Yeah,
but it
The
failed.
building blocks are there.
It looks fine. The voice cast is very good, I think, especially Hamdo. He hams it up, and it's great. But The story could be there, but the writing just falls apart.
Yeah.
After the first couple episodes, it just devolves into this mess of war bad and like.
It's one of those things that really, unfortunately, it was just, I think it was like a few episodes too long, and it didn't know what to do with itself for a while. And it failed itself because of it.
This is the sort of thing where it's like, you could probably remake this and do better.
You could make like a movie, I don't know about a sequel, like a movie remake of
this. Like a retelling.
Remake of it.
A retelling, that would be
retelling.
Maybe from a different character's perspective.
Do-over.
Either a different character's perspective, or just give more context for Hamdo, give more...
Yeah.
Give less time
more context
for the village,
for just
in my
this
opinion.
World.
I think
no idea
give less
where
attention to the child soldier plot, which, I mean, it is a problem, but like, way too much attention on that show.
I think if you replaced some of the parts in the middle, where Shu is a child soldier and he's just doing stupid things, if you replace some of those parts with Abelia's perspective,
you could take out the entire plant fight scene, honestly. Like, the only reason that was there was to add action and to have the scene where Shu is talking to Lalaru, but, like, they could have just talked to each other on their way out, you know, just talking while walking.
And wouldn't it characterize the world a little bit more?
Yeah.
If everything was just silent?
If everything was just dead.
Yeah, it's just a wasteland of nothing.
Instead, they got to throw in this wacky sci-fi villain plant that never shows up again.
Sarlacc pit, yeah.
Sarlacc pit.
This was definitely inspired by Star Wars, which, good inspiration. But
yeah, I think this show would really benefit from having a scene where we get a character who knows the history, and we get a bit of that. Yeah. We get a bit of like how Abelia came to serve Hamdo, how Hamdo rose to power.
Why is this war even happening?
How did Zari bars happen? Like, there's a lot of questions with that.
More about like their technology, like why they knew to go to Earth to find Lalaru, what Lalaru even is.
No, they explain Lalaru. She's like a water spirit.
Yeah, but like that's not a good enough explanation to me.
And there's very little anything else magical in this world.
Yeah, I think that's what my problem is.
I mean, I think Lalaru is supposed to be like the good nature of the world, and she's all like cynical, and like she literally said all the good humans in this world are dead, which is so edgy. But I think the implication was that like, oh, nature has been abused by humanity. War destroyed the world.
Yeah.
And also, you guys were saying earlier, I forgot to mention, you guys were saying that her power didn't seem to be running out. She mentioned to Sis that she's like over 10,000 years old.
Yeah.
If you believe her, I think that when she was born, her amulet had like, you know, an entire ocean worth, well, even more than an ocean worth of water, like multiple planets worth of water.
She drowns Hellywood twice.
My point is, she has a very, very large, like infinite supply, like almost infinite supply of water. And then throughout her entire 10,000 years of life, she uses a little bit of it. Until the very end, she makes water worlds.
She makes what?
Yeah, she does. Water world. Like,
oh, yeah.
Gives water back to the planet.
This is a functional prequel to Waterworld. Or Gargantua.
Added to the canon.
I would say, I think...
Wait, what's the canon? It goes... So this, then Waterworld, then Gargantua?
Yeah, Gargantua.
Yes.
Because Waterworld nothing really happens in, but... I'd say this, now that you bring that up, I'd say that Lalaru being a symbol for Earth is more accurate than Nuke. Because people are killing each other over land and resources and stuff like that, while also killing the Earth. I think it's both. The show, but I think it's...
She is Nuke because she's like the key to solving the war, but she's also representative of nature.
Because
actually,
people
you know
are
what?
Fighting over the land and the natural resources while also depleting said land and natural resources.
You know what? I think she's nuclear power. Remember what they used? Remember what they used to power the ship?
Oh yeah, some
or
weird
water,
reactor.
and then they turn it
it's
into
the
fuel.
Water. You're right.
Ah, come on. It's just a generic war movie, but they changed the nukes to water.
Yeah.
So is
Water
the end, does that mean
deterrence.
it's Fallout? And everyone's gonna die?
Is it radioactive water?
Also, let me just say the ending and having Sarah stay is the worst thing.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, that sucks. No, and also just the other thing of the ending is just Shu goes back home and then it just ends.
Yes.
How the fuck?
Like you don't even get a sense that he learned anything.
I don't see how the fuck does somebody go home after that and just like, oh yeah, I just went on this fucking crusade and I just saved their fucking planet and you have no idea they exist and I'm crazy. Like, you just can't go back home after that.
Honestly,
I don't know.
That's
Like it's just hard ends. Like you don't get the sense that anything was learned or gained.
you know what would have been good, and you guys might disagree with me on this. Tying in with what Max just said, what if you have Shu grow up in the other world? What if you have him spend a couple years as a child soldier?
Yeah. Either that or have maybe, I don't know what it'd probably change a lot more than if you had people from that world just come to Earth. I don't think it would really fit the theme or anything like that.
I think if Shu grew up, it would make a better case for young soldiers. Not child soldiers, but 18-year-olds.
People who grow into being soldiers.
Basically, people like you said, people who come home and they're broken.
Oh yeah, and they would not have any way. Yeah.
It would be way better if it ended with Shu has returned home after years at war in this other world.
Literally, all you know is fighting. Yeah.
Because
that would have showcased more of a hey, things changed for him.
That would have definitely been another moment where they could have done a really good showing and not telling.
I'm kind of angry now. I just thought of another metaphor.
You just thought of a better way this could have ended up.
No, not that. If this was American, I would say yes, this is what it is. But because this is Japanese, I don't know. It's about a soldier who is a little too young, going to war in a very sandy area with lots of tyrants and dictators.
SpaghettiOs.
Gulf War.
Well, Immorman, this was in 99-ish.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, Gulf
War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can also totally tie this into War on Terror.
Too fucking long.
So, this could be a metaphor for that, but I kind of doubt it because it's Japanese.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool that it's applicable. I'll give it credit for that, but
it applies to a lot of things.
Yeah, alone in just this conversation, we've made a lot of connections.
I think we should go into ratings because I think we could just keep going all day about this.
Yeah, we said everything that's problematic.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go first because I think I probably had more positive opinions than this. I want to give this a 6 out of 10. There's a lot of potential here. There's a lot of good. I like the visuals, but it falls short. It just really could have been something, and it just wasn't something. So close.
Mm-hmm. This show made me feel a lot of emotions I didn't think I would be feeling. I am impressed by a lot of it, but after watching it and thinking about it a lot, it fails a lot more than it succeeds. I think all the thematic ties that hold it together, they just don't work. They just fail. They're never consistent. They're never explained. I don't know. I give it a solid 5. I would not go any higher than 5.
Yeah, I think I'm just basically everything you guys said. Just there's potential here, but it's just kind of wasted in the end. 6 out of 10.
All right.
So it's a showy showdown.
It's you.
It's me.
It is
you.
Me.
It's me.
It's me. So it's time for me to do an anime.
Yes.
And what I am doing is, drum roll please. We're doing Blood Blockade Battlefront or Kekai Sensen, however you want to say it. We're doing that.
Okay,
For
I
some
don't know
reason,
what that
this
is.
show, it's like, it's a more recent show. It's kind of like action-y, I think. I don't. Connor, you have it on your list. You've right.
Why do I have this clicked on? Like, it has a purple link on Wikipedia for me.
I know almost nothing about it. I think I added it to my list because you added it to your list.
Okay.
You got a short little synopsis?
Yeah. Read.
What?
Well, you said you have a little synopsis.
No, I said, Art, do you have one?
Oh, I pulled it up. Kekai Sensen, right?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh no.
This sounds really okay. A breach between Earth and the Netherworlds has opened up over the city of New York, trapping New Yorkers and creatures from other dimensions in an impenetrable bubble. They've lived together for years in a world of crazy crime, sci-fi sensibilities. Now someone is threatening to sever the bubble, and a group of stylish superhumans is working to keep it from happening. What does that remind me of?
Wait, what are you trying to? Wait. Fuck, are you trying to imply Yozakura?
Yes.
Fuck. I might have done a bad thing again. God damn it.
We'll see.
We'll see.
It's a very different change
and
of pace from what we've
also
just watched. So
for some reason, the first season of this used to be on Crunchyroll, and now it's not. But the second season is still on Crunchyroll. So we're gonna have to use Hulu for this.
Okay, it's on Hulu. Okay.
Is it on Funimation?
Yeah, I think so too.
I want to get a Funimation.
Yeah, for some reason, what we're gonna watch season 1 is not on Crunchy anymore, but season 2 is still on Crunchy. It's
very funny, actually.
Don't know how that happens.
All right, well that's it.
That's it for this week. Goodbye, everybody.
Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye.